got to Chilton Folio, where the 101st Airborne was, and we were stationed in Quonset huts. And we weren't there very long before we got an alert that we had to go to a marshalling area because they had a mission for us to perform. After we got out there, we were there for a short time, and then we got scrapped, go back. That happened twice, and the ground war was moving so well for us that they didn't need us to do what they had planned for us to do. Then along came a great plan, and they said, this time we're going. So we moved out, got into a marshalling area, and we got briefed with everything that we were supposed to do. Operation Market Garden, we were to jump into Holland, secure the roadways from Eindhoven to Arnhem so that the British Second Army can move up through there. And so we did. And the 101st took all of us took all of our objectives and opened the highway through there. We had some tremendous battles on the way. It was something that kind of hard to imagine until you get into it. And we moved on up after the British went through with their tanks. We had a big battle where we were infantry, and tanks usually have their armored infantry. We had no training with armored infantry operations. A little closer? Oh, all right. We had no training with to be armored infantrymen, but our officer of the company threw his entrenching shovel up and he said, "Let's go, boys." We took off behind him, and the Germans had, of course, gathered in very large numbers around there. And this was the second day. They had gathered all of their troops from around there, and we were totally outnumbered and practically out of ammunition by then because we'd suffered some attacks that they had made on us and drove them back. And we thought that our tanks had been delayed because they'd blown out one of the bridges, and we had to put in a Bailey Bridge. Our engineers put in a Bailey Bridge so they could get through. They finally came up, and we followed the tanks out, and the Germans began to surrender. I mean, we were out there picking them up, and the tanks, one track going one way and one track the other, and you people with tanks know what it's like. And the cannon were booming, and the machine guns were going, and I'm telling you, if the Germans were scared, we were too. I'm telling you, because when they turned around and that cannon was aimed at us, I'm telling you, it was pretty scary. We won the day, took 1,200 prisoners. And then we bogged down for the night. And I remember after the attack, I came back to my foxhole, and I looked for my musette bag with all of my stuff in it, all of my private belongings, my socks, undies, and letters from home, toothbrush, everything. And it wasn't there. So there was one there, and I needed one. I picked it up, and I wondered what was in it. I looked in there, and there was a steel mirror. It looked like stainless steel mirror, a shaving mirror. And I picked it up, and the day before, I'd had a bullet snap off one of the trees near, and it, like a slap on the face, and I thought I'd lost half of my face. It just stung terribly hard, and I hardly dared to touch my face with my dirty hand, having been in a hole for a couple of days. And I touched it, and geez, no blood. Well, I touched it again, no blood. Gee, I'm okay. So when I got that mirror, that's one of the things I wanted to check. And it was right after that attack that we'd taken all those prisoners. And I looked at that face staring back at me, that dirty face with that serious look on it and no blood, and I just started to laugh. That's all I could do was laugh at myself because the way I looked, so serious. So I got rid of that serious look.